Welcome to the Combative Nerds Podcast. Join us. Hey guys, we don't have time for intros or traffic signals. This is a rapid fire episode. Let's get to it. Oh, an IG. My bad. Sorry about your cat. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Raiderlance and
IceEyedGnome.
It is November 21st, 2022, and we are doing another rapid fire. Before we got into our topic, I wanted to bring something up to IEG. IEG, you're more of a TikTok person than I ever am, but I've seen on Instagram, because now I have to be on social media for the podcast. And on Instagram, there is a new viral video that's going on, and I want to see if you knew about it. It is a bunch of white girls at a bachelorette party dancing to Beyonce's song Cuff It. Have you seen it?
I have not.
Okay.
I know the song, but I've not seen the videos.
Okay, so apparently this TikTok trend is everybody's supposed to dance together. And because of the job these young women did, they are getting out a lot of response videos. And I want you to take a look at what these women did to our culture. All right, here we go. I'm going to play it. No audio, so we don't get a copyright strike. But we'll play it for IEG to see, and then we'll discuss why it's important and relevant. Here we go. All right, so bachelorette girls dancing. There's about 7 of them. They're all wiggling to this song, and there they go.
What?
And this is a reaction video to them. Basically, you white girls can't dance, so us black, brown, whatever other culture people are going to dance to it. Again, there's only a couple seconds, but I want you to see these young, beautiful white girls attempt at dancing together for a couple seconds.
Oh my God, that is awful. Like, okay, so
the reason why
let me just say this, because I understand black, brown people, that kind of stuff, are like awesome at dancing and good at sports, all that other crap. But like, my wife is white as all get out, but she can dance like a mofo. Like, she can really break it down. I tell people that I married a dancer, and then like I just kind of play it up like she was an exotic dancer, because they don't know. You know what I mean?
Oh, Jesus. Here is why this clip is very important to our conversation and to our culture as a whole. These young girls just set white people back about 30 to 40 years back into that stereotype of not being able to dance. And it's very unfortunate that it showed on social media now. And more importantly, the reason why this is important is the conversation me and IEG are about to have is going to set our friendship back probably about 3 years. But because we love you guys, we're going to get into probably this has to be our biggest contention, right? This is our main, like one of the main fights we have in our friendship.
You pick on me all the time about like my viewpoint, and like, I mean, if you want to,
you mean I'm right, and I'm trying to show you why you're wrong.
No. But if you want to go down this path, we can totally have a civil discussion about it.
There's nothing civil about this discussion, buddy. Let me tell you right off the bat. There's nothing civil about this. You are going to need to elucidate to me your point about why you choose the Batman you choose to enjoy. All right, so let me lay it out. First off, let's find the common ground. Can we both agree that the best Batman to date is from the animated series? That is the perfect Batman.
And rest in peace, Kevin Conroy.
Okay.
You will be severely missed.
Absolutely.
You are the voice of Batman. Always have been, always will be.
You are Batman. So well done. We will miss you. Okay. That aside, live action Batman. I want you to dig your own grave and tell me your answer and justify it.
It's George Clooney. George Clooney is the number one Batman. I think we can all agree.
Okay. I don't agree, but that is not my biggest point.
I'm totally kidding.
Let's get to your real answer.
George Clooney was an amazing actor, but he was a terrible Batman and a terrible Bruce Wayne. Actually, you know what? He was not a bad Bruce Wayne. He was just a really crappy Batman. And Joel Schumacher should not make Batman movies.
Okay. You know what? I want to pull back here and be more reasonable. I still think George Clooney is a better Batman than the one you're about to choose.
That is completely that's a huge pile of shit.
Okay, so who do you think made the best Batman?
I'm going to put them like in order. So like
Just say
I
it.
want to preface
No,
it.
you're pussyfooting around the
But I want to preface
conversation
it because I want to
you know
point
it's the
out the
wrong.
differences. And I don't want this to be like a one-sided argument where like I just say it and then you just trash me for 10 minutes. So before we do that, we'll talk
No
about the
fun.
live action Batman, excluding pre-1989. We're not going to talk about Adam West and his movie or the live action film that was before that. Like, we're going to, yeah.
You know what it feels like? You want to know what it feels like? It feels like the kid who is about to get his booster shot and keeps on finding other things to talk about or questions instead of just getting
Raider,
the damn shot.
I'm about to go to bed. I just need a glass of water first, okay? So I want you to tell me, like, we're gonna talk about like after Keaton and above, like these Batman. So you got Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, then you've got Christian Bale,
all better.
Then you've got Ben Affleck, and now you've got fucking vampire Robert Pattinson, right? So those are the live action Batman that we're going to be talking about for this specific thing. Adam West is a treasure, right? Rest in peace to Adam West, but he's not like, I mean, like that show was not of the same caliber.
It's different.
Right? That was like it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So in those Batman, who do you think are going to be in order, like first to last for you, or last to first? However,
I think Michael Keaton.
Okay,
it's the best Batman, and then whoever else, and Ben Affleck is the worst.
Okay,
and yours?
You think George Clooney and Val Kilmer were better Batman than Ben Affleck?
The movies are crap. I just think Ben Affleck is unredeemable as Batman.
Okay, all right, you're an asshole. All right, so listen. Robert Pattinson.
He's holding back the tears just for everybody to know.
I've got Kleenex.
I didn't see Robert Pattinson, so
You haven't seen the new Batman?
I didn't see the Robert Pattinson.
Oh my god.
No, man, I got kids. I don't go to the movies anymore. I'm too crazy.
Oh my god. It's been out on DVD for a hot minute.
Has it? I don't know what to tell you, man. I got other stuff going on. I've been learning podcasts. Leave me alone. All right. So
you probably still like think you need to renew your Blockbuster card or something.
Probably. Okay. Let's get to the point. Why do you think Ben Affleck was a good Batman?
So I grew up with Batman in the comics, and like one of my favorite comic series was written by like Frank Miller, the Dark Knight series.
Of course.
And in Frank Miller's version of Batman, he's like a bigger, beefier brawler, not afraid to like, just brutalize people.
Yeah.
When he's taking down criminals and that kind of stuff, where in some of the other versions of Batman that you see, it's like, like, oh, we don't want to, kind of like this half-witted Superman. Like, we don't want to like beat him up too bad, like I never kill anybody.
Sure.
Whereas in Dark Knight, he's like, screw it, like I'm going to do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Guns ablazing, whatever. You know what I mean? Like he's just very brutal, very vicious. He's awesome. So considering that is like my ideal version of what Batman should be.
Okay.
Ben Affleck fits that version of Batman in my head to the letter. He did it in his acting style. They did it in the way they shot Batman versus Superman and the way they shot some of the scenes from Justice League, especially the Snyder cut, where they included more of the action and that kind of stuff on Batman's side, because there was very little to no big action scenes as far as Batman's concerned in the first cut.
Okay, let me stop you there and let me ask you a question.
Okay.
I completely agree with Frank Miller Batman being the best Batman. No dispute there. My issue is with the actor, not with the script. My issue is with Ben Affleck being in that role. Now, if you would have taken Michael Keaton and shoved him in those movies in lieu of Ben Affleck, if you would have done that with George Clooney, with Val Kilmer in lieu of Ben Affleck. And in other words, if Val Kilmer, if he was in shape and you put him in the Batman movies that Ben Affleck had, do you think Val Kilmer could have done a better job? Do you think Michael Keaton could have done a better job?
No, I don't. I think that Keaton is by far the best overall Batman, not Frank Miller style. but I think that he
Okay,
did
sure.
a really good job of balancing Bruce Wayne and the idiosyncrasies that he had as an individual with being Batman and having to go like a little dark, right? To be that
Sure.
persona. But Michael Keaton was like the best Batman. Val Kilmer at his prime did a really good job of playing Bruce Wayne. He did a really terrible job of playing Batman. Like he
There,
played like the true detective version where he was very brilliant, very smart, that kind of stuff. Like, cause he was in Batman Forever with the riddles and he was able to solve all these riddles and stuff very quickly. And he made it seem easy, right? He played like a
sure.
smart guy.
But they weren't action-heavy movies. And in other words, if they would have given them the grit of even the Christian Bale Batman movies, like you would have been able to see a different side of Val Kilmer. Like what
I don't
did
know,
Ben
man.
Affleck do? Because all I see is Ben Affleck when he's talking whining with a high, Boston Southie accent when I see him. Like I can't get past his.
But he doesn't do that in the movie.
It's subtext. He's a whiny person, and you just can't.
So it's like
you just can't unsee it, man. And
it's like
he's
Robert Pattinson's Batman.
He's just not a tough guy, and his I don't know. It's too preachy, too arrogant. I did hear he got in great shape for it, and I'm sure he put in the work. And I know he's a fantastic actor. Just stay the fuck away from a Batman role, sir.
No, absolutely not. He put on like 20, 30 pounds of muscle. And as
Sure.
somebody who like has lifted and that kind of stuff, like, competitively and that kind of thing before, like that's impressive. You know what I mean? Like given the short amount of time he had to train, he's like, he got in shape to play the Batman, right? Like,
yeah, but so did Christian Bale,
Frank Miller's.
Right?
He got in shape, but he got in shape to play skinny ripped Batman, like not
okay. But what if
Batman?
But what if Christian Bale did get in that type of shape? What if Val Kilmer did get in that type of shape? Like what did Ben?
I'm not going to take away from Christian Bale. I think he did a fantastic job. I don't sit here and say that like in that universe, in his universe, right? That trilogy, that he wasn't a fantastic Batman, because I think he did a really good job. I think they got really sloppy towards the end with some of the script writing and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But like Batman Begins was awesome. I loved it.
He revamped what Batman was, because Batman was a laughing stock after what they did with the George Clooney movies. Yeah, I get it. But
yeah,
my point being is, what did Ben Affleck do? Not the movie, not the director, not the script. What did Ben Affleck do to make him a good Batman?
He just sold it to me. Like I could see in his performance that like he's a guy who watched Robin, his sidekick, get murdered by the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
He's lived a life. He's an older, more mature Batman who's kind of like in between the Batman animated series and Dark Knight series, like where it's, this transition from him getting older, right? He's like in that weird spot in the timeline. So he's seen a lot of crap. He's been Batman for 20 years at this point, and he looks like he's been through it.
It was
mentally, physically.
It is a little unfair because he had more trauma to pull through. I mean, he was in the process of leaving his wife and going back to his ex-wife girlfriend and going back into her world. So I could see him having that struggle.
They were never married before. Married before.
It is a little bit of an unfair.
He left an Electra nachos.
I just can't do it, man. I can't do it. He's a stud. He's an amazing actor. We have to part ways at his playing Batman. Just unacceptable.
Oh man. See, look, I have some bones to pick.
Okay.
Right? So let me tear apart like the other Batman and like give you my better explanation. So Robert Pattinson, like Vampire Boy from Twilight series. I watched the Batman. If you haven't seen it, you need to. He did a fantastic job as Batman. Like year one Batman, that comic series. If you're watching like Long Halloween or year one or whatever, like he played a really good job as that Batman. If they bring him back in a similar universe to play Batman a few years later down the road, he better put on some damn muscle. And he better stop acting like a member of like Good Charlotte or some other emo band from the early 2000s. Like because his Bruce Wayne was absolutely terrible. Like every time he played Bruce Wayne, it looked like an advertisement for Tampax. It was awful.
Well, I mean, isn't he supposed to be the heartthrob that got his heart broken by his should have been soulmate? I mean, isn't that kind of the stigma he has?
Oh, the girl who couldn't smile to save her life?
Yeah, that's like the stigma he's always going to have.
I don't know.
So
he did a fantastic job as Batman. I'll give him that. He's a shitty Bruce Wayne, and I hope to God they fix it if they ever bring him back. That's all I'm going to say. He can be a heartthrob all he wants to as Twilight Vampire Boy, but like when you step into DC Comics to play a role like the Batman, get your shit together.
But okay, so how is your complaint about Pattinson different than my complaint about Affleck? Your issue isn't with the movie, the script. Your issue is with the way he portrayed Batman. That is the same with me for Affleck.
No, I'm complaining about the way he played Bruce Wayne, not the way he played Batman. So I think that because
let me make it.
It's a double identity, right? Like you have to be Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Let me make
there
it
are
clear.
Very few actors who could pull off both.
Let me make it clear. Affleck was shit at both. So.
Oh, okay.
My issue is with both of them. He shouldn't have had any of these roles.
Oh, I wasn't aware that you had an extra chromosome, but
how can this be so contentious?
He was amazing. I'll tell you this from this. Okay, from this perspective, when they said Ben Affleck was playing Batman, I was like, that's going to be shit, right? Because I saw Daredevil.
Yeah.
But then I went back and rewatched Daredevil. It's shitty
script writing. He did a decent job.
Right?
He did a decent job. Yeah.
I'll give it to him. As, as the character in that script and that kind of stuff, like, it was somewhat believable. You know what I mean? Like, that movie had a whole lot of issues, but like he was still like good in that role. So then I watched Batman versus Superman, and then I watched Justice League, and then I watched Zack Snyder's Justice League, and then I watched the 30-second clip of him as Batman and another Joker Suicide Squad movie, right? Like, and it's just he sells it when he's talking to Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman. Ben Affleck just comes across as like, I'm a billionaire playboy, but like not over the top. And it feels real, and he feels settled, and he feels like a late 40s Batman who's seen a lot of shit. It just feels like really grounded in the character, and he feels really grounded in both the Bruce Wayne form and Batman form. So like it really sold the character to me. I think he did a fantastic job, and I don't think they highlighted him enough in those movies.
I could see him as the Bruce Wayne because, I mean, that is just an exaggeration of his own current life, being such a power player in Hollywood and then marrying two different megastars. Well, I should say one was only a megastar, but you know what I mean? He's not too far off from that in our reality. I can't buy him as a tough guy. Like, if you want to make the argument as he played a good Bruce Wayne, I could get to capitulation if he wasn't such shit. But as a Batman, you cannot have a whiny, weak person who, granted, could probably, tie me up in a pretzel, but he's going to whine while doing it.
Oh, so
he's going to be condescending.
Oh, vegan Robert Pattinson could tie you up?
I've never saw it. I don't have an issue. Michael Keaton has the crazy
he will,
to be Batman.
Stab you in the back of the
Michael
neck,
Keaton
right?
has
like
the crazy.
He's like
Val Kilmer. I'll be your Huckleberry it was Tombstone, right?
Yeah, Tombstone.
Yeah, he could be Batman. I can see that. Ben Affleck isn't hurting anybody.
Doc Holliday.
Exactly.
Yeah, but so
Ben Affleck is going to ask for a soy macchiato. You know what I mean? It's just no, you can't be Batman, dude. And I would probably extrapolate the same for Pattinson.
I mean, like, granted, most of the movies and stuff that you watch, like, I mean, if you were to, Michael Keaton seems like a really strange, weird person, right? But I bet you he's like a total sweetheart for the most part.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. Until
he has bad days like the rest of us, but like, I could totally see Ben Affleck strangle a 17-year-old in an alleyway. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because he was taking pictures of his family.
Off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I could see him getting angry and like roughing somebody up.
or if you
But, like,
disagree with
Michael
his
Keaton,
politics.
it would be
yeah.
like, yeah, exactly. That's it.
Yeah,
So-
you become a little whiny bastard and act like you're going to kick somebody's ass on public TV.
No, we're not talking about
dumbass.
Robert Pattinson.
No, I'm
But,
still talking about Ben Affleck.
No, I know. So a lot of people don't like him because of the way that he handled his relationships and
I
that
don't
kind of
care.
stuff or whatever. There's a lot of like contention around who he is as a person, and it affects the way that people view him in his movies and that kind of stuff.
Not my issue.
I don't care. You know what I mean?
Not my issue.
That I think you have to separate that a little bit.
He's a stud, and he's a Hollywood elite.
Yeah.
He plays by different rules. I'm not saying those rules are good or bad, but I get that he's not going to handle his life the way I would, just because he has different opportunities and different environment.
Yeah,
but he's a whiny man who can't be a tough guy, who is Frank Miller's Batman, who beats up, these cyberpunks in trash yards and then takes over all their, hoodlum gang. Like he's not the dude. He's not the dude.
He as an actor, he played that character. Like he sold it. He sold that character to me, who loves Frank Miller's Batman, right? And like, it's an opinion thing, so like you don't have to agree. And maybe you didn't grow up in like that same like era of like Frank Miller Batman, or maybe you saw him later or whatever. But like that has always been like the epitome of Batman. And yes, while I very much appreciated Keaton in the '89 Batman and in Batman Returns, and then the two shit shows afterwards, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciated bits and pieces out of each of those films. But to me, as far as a Batman Bruce Wayne combo is concerned, I don't think that anybody else has pulled off that role better than Ben Affleck, besides maybe Keaton. But still, comparing Keaton to like Dark Knight Batman, not the same thing, right? It's like two different versions, two different universes.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I can't get on board. Just can't get on board with it.
And while you're at it, like, go see the damn Batman. It's like $1.99 to rent or something. I'm sure, like Apple iTunes it or something. I don't know.
Well, let's wrap this up, and I will just inform you that while I do that, maybe I should actually get around to watching the Batmans with Ben Affleck in it, because I've never seen them.
I fucking hate you. I hate you so much.
I protest watching it. He is such shit. I don't have to watch it. I already know. I'm not going to waste my time watching it.
You haven't seen him, and you spent 30 minutes arguing with me about it? I fucking hate you. You're such a dick.
Welcome to having a friend as an attorney.
You're such a dick.
This is what I do. So a couple weeks ago, Fighter Wizard hit me up. He's like, "Hey man, I really want to see you and IEG debate on who's a better Batman." And I went, "Hey, can I tell you something? I've never seen him." He's like, "Oh, now I have to hear that episode."
Oh my God. I hate you.
I refuse, and I know I'm still right. So have fun being wrong about this one.
You're not, though. Like, now you have to see it.
No, I don't.
Oh my God.
Look, I'm already right. If I go watch them, and then there's a possibility of me being wrong, I'm just going to stick to my point.
You know what? Firefly sucks. Right? Firefly sucks. How about that?
All right,
I've not seen all of it.
So I think this is mission accomplished. I'm going to go get the banner to put up behind me for our next rapid fire if IEG is willing to join me.
You're such an asshole.
Oh. All right, everyone. Catch you later. That's it. That's our short little show. If you're wondering why IEG is still my friend, well, so am I. Please do us a favor and like, subscribe, share this podcast so we can get some traction. Once I get around to it, check us out on our socials. Combative Nerds on Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You know the deal. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you next episode.